John Adams, an American political figure, will take the time to sit down and discuss his role in America with me. He will talk about what went on during the time he was Vice President and President of America. I will be interviewing him in his lovely home in Philadelphia on a cloudy, cold Sunday evening. Dominique Edwards, the interviewer.
Hello, I'm John Adams.
Hi, John Adams, and thank you for being in this interview with me. So we can begin. First, where do you see the United States in the future?
Well, as the negotiations of the Paris Treaty, treaty. Okay, well, did you stop it?
No.
Okay, well, as the negotiations of the Paris Peace Treaty are still being debated, I predict the U.S. 13 colonies will one day form the greatest empire in the world. I have this faith since I was 19 years old. I see men of education, ability, as well as wealth, and as the natural aristocracy, the great and blessing of society.
That's a very interesting view that you see the United States. Now, being voted vice president, what was your reaction?
Well, Washington was chosen unanimously to become president with 69 votes, while I only had 34, which humiliated me. My pride was deeply hurt. However, I thought I would be the first, and it is the second highest office. I say I feel great difficulty how to act. I am vice president, and this I am nothing, but I may be everything.
Interestingly said. So, do you believe your personality suits this position?
People describe me as blunt, stubborn, opinionated, vain, and given jealousy was understood. They did not believe I would be willing and loyal enough to serve Washington. At first, I did not want the job because of the tragic loss to Washington, but I pulled myself together to be a responsible leader for my peers.
Now, as you talk about George Washington, describe your relationship with him.
Other than a few stiff social occasions, I had little contact with Washington and no influence. Then again, it appeared as if no one had an influence with him. He seeks no info from all quarters and judges more independently than any man I've ever seen. With him, I was rarely asked for an opinion or even offered one.
Speaking of opinion, with all the other people you worked with, did you approve of the cabinet that was selected?
I feel the cabinet should be made up of revolutionaries, which are all men who participated in the revolution. Basically, basically, all I can agree was with Washington was he was the greatest man in the world. Him and Hamilton, Jefferson, Madison, and Jay. They could have fairly been the best minds in the country. Despite the differences in temperament or political philosophy, we all are men dedicated primarily to seeing the American experiment succeed. I approve of all the choices for the cabinet.
Well, that is all the time we have today for this interview. I want to personally thank you, John Adams,
Oh,
for
no problem.
sitting down and talking with me, and we're out.